Today, every day, small cap investors visit Agoracom knowing this is the day to discover the world's next great company, to have their dreams come true. That's why I take to the open road, to find them, to tell their stories, to engage them, to bring them to life, because they want to connect with you from your office, your phone, your home, anywhere. Agoracom, find your dream.
Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom in which we take the time to speak with small cap companies about big important news. And today, it's a big one. With us, I've got Alex Somjen, President, and Carl Saling, Founder, CEO, and Director of Hollister Biosciences. The company trades on the CSE under the stock symbol HOLL. For our friends in Europe, on Frankfurt under HOB, and for our friends in the US under HSTRF. And the surprise guest, or the new guest that we've got on, Jacob Cohen. He's founder of Venom Extracts. Why is that important? Because the press release today was big. I'm going to read it off here. Hollister Biosciences closes transformational acquisition of Venom Extracts, adding $16.4 million in 2019 revenues and $2.5 million in EBITDA. Gents, congratulations. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, George. We are super excited about this transaction. Just like you said, it's transformative. And we're really excited about what the future holds and our expansion plans going forward here.
Cool.
Thank
Jacob,
you.
how you
Thank
feeling?
You, George. I appreciate you having me on the show, buddy. I mean, me and the entire team over here, we're all super thrilled about the announcement. So couldn't be happier.
Hey, Alex, I'm going to direct the first question maybe to you.
Sure.
But all you guys chime in. But this is first more on the Hollister side. We're in unprecedented times here. First, the cannabis industry itself was just going through its own reverberations over the last 6 to 9 months. And then we have this Corona environment. So, in this period of flux for cannabis and the markets in general, how significant is this $20 million acquisition of Venom for your shareholders?
Hey, George. Yeah, first of all, really excited to be here. Thanks very much for having us on today. So yeah, I mean, given the kind of depression in the cannabis market before all the COVID-19 stuff, and now obviously the market's really beaten down as a result of the COVID-19 scare. I think being able to close such a transformative acquisition in these turbulent times, and obviously, I'm putting it lightly, is a big feather in all of our caps. So we're super excited about it.
Carl, how are you feeling about what this means for the for the long-term prospects of the company, especially in an environment where getting financing is difficult, the equity markets are challenging? What does this mean to have this acquisition tucked away?
Yeah, so it's game changing for Hollister Biosciences. This will enable us to accelerate our plans by several years and be able to, we're instantly now a multi-state operator that is profitable. So I consider that some sort of a unicorn in the cannabis land here. And, as far as where we stand with the markets and the COVID-19, I think we all just need to keep our heads down, drive the business forward, not get distracted with all that stuff. Keep everybody safe, keep your employees safe,
right?
Use proper sanitation, all that stuff. But we're going to stay focused because we are very blessed in the fact that, at least in the States right now, cannabis has been, is deemed an essential service. So when other things close, like restaurants and movie theaters and things like that, we're fortunate. We get to stay open, we get to pay our employees, and we get to move the business forward.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, buddy.
As the founder of Venom, first of all, let me, on behalf of probably everybody watching, congratulate you for what you've done. We're all, not all of us understand how difficult it is to start a business, let alone achieve some success, and then actual viability and get it to where you got it. How big of a day is this for you guys and your team at Venom to be part of a public company And what does this mean for Venom's core business going forward?
I mean, it's a huge day for us, actually. I mean, this is when we first started the company out. I mean, we started with $15,000, and I mean, that might sound like a lot of money to people, but in this industry, it's nothing. And we started. If you could have seen our first operation, where we came from, and what we have achieved and what we have now, you'd be blown away. I mean, everything we set out to do. And our goal was to go public one day, and then that's we met Carl, and obviously everything clicked, and I mean it was a dream come true for us. So we're all ecstatic. I mean, we've all worked countless hours. I mean, sacrificed so much time with our family and friends to be here. I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier, George. You know what goes in with owning a business, buddy. I mean, I'm actually right now, while I do this, I'm pulling a product right now so they can start manufacturing it. So it's a never-ending thing.
Hey, what does this environment do, Jake, for your business? Because not a lot of people are familiar with extracts, right? So, how does this environment change demand from your customers and your supply? Any issues with supply and things like that?
I don't think it changes much. I mean, honestly, especially, and I don't know how Carl's environment in California is out there, but a lot of the companies, you have to think, we're in Arizona. So Arizona has Harvest, obviously. Harvest is one of the biggest. We have Curaleaf. They're one of the biggest. So Arizona was kind of the first state to really take that public approach, So it's nothing really new for this market. We've kind of been at it for a year or so with these companies going public, and that's obviously where we wanted to go too. We just didn't get there as quick as they did. They had a different approach. They had the retail approach versus we have the wholesale approach. What
does it mean to be able to go right into California through Hollister's distribution first, and then where you want to go after that?
I mean, expansion's huge, especially in this industry. I mean, you're in each market, you strive to be the biggest. You want to be the biggest company out there. You want the most brand recognition, but you can only reach a certain level, whether that's due to supply or whether that's due to employees or whatever that restriction is. You can only reach a certain level. And I'm not saying we can't grow in Arizona, because we still have our sights set on growing in Arizona, but we've reached that top peak of Arizona. It's where we're ready to venture off to other states now. So it's huge to be able to have a state to enter into right away and, accomplish there what we've accomplished here. Everything we've done here, I mean, literally is written down word for word. I mean, every position, I mean, everything that goes with this company is in a handbook, and our goal is to duplicate that in as many states as possible. So it's huge to be able to go and hop right into one right away.
Carl, Alex, on that, is that easier said than done, or do you guys see a nice, easy dovetail of Venom, through your distribution channel? Because you've got your 220 dispensaries already in California. You've got great distribution. Is that easier said than done, or do you think that'll be smooth sailing, kind of, bringing Venom into your distribution?
Yeah, great question. So out of the gate, we're going to build our facility out to facilitate the Venom product line. Venom uses hydrocarbon extraction technologies that in Hollister we didn't do that yet. So we're going to build that capability. So I'd say probably within 3 to 4 months, we would have Venom products on the California market. And then at the same time, but at the same time in Las Vegas, we have a facility pretty much ready to go. We just have to drop some equipment in there. And I would say, depending on what's happening now, 30 to 60 days, we'd probably be launching some sort of product in Vegas. So Nevada is actually going to come first for Venom, and then back into California, and that's really because of some construction we have to do.
Man, all right, that's fast. I mean, when you call this a creative acquisition, you're not kidding.
No. Like the good thing is we already have the infrastructure in place to handle them. It's just we have to do some extra stuff because of the type of extraction technology. But we have all the licenses, we have all the approvals. We have the distribution. We just need it's almost plug and play. And then on the reverse side, we're going to then start moving Hollister brands and products into Arizona and Vegas at the same time. So it's kind of they're coming here, we're going there, and then we're both going to all the other states that we're going to expand into.
Hey, Alex, from a strategy point of view, strategic objectives, looking 1, 2, 3 years down the road. How does this make Hollister, this acquisition, how does it make Hollister an even better company now in terms of not just obviously top line revenue, that's the obvious one, but in terms of your strategy going forward and the kind of markets you want to be penetrating?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, the point I really want to hammer home here is, I'm thinking about this as kind of a 1 + 1 = 3 type of acquisition, as Carl and Jake have alluded to. There's such a, the amount of resource and capability sharing that a transaction like this entails is really going to enable us to face the market with a truly differentiated product offering. So in terms of strategy, we'll help each other scale our existing operations by introducing our product lines into each other's operations. And then obviously, looking further out, in addition to Nevada, we'll probably start exploring entering additional state marketplaces as well, which is a really exciting prospect.
Alex, are there limitations to Venom's? I want to say Jake's product, but I should say Venom. To Venom's products, are there limitations or licensing issues or anything like that limit where you can expand to for now?
I can't foresee any major licensing issues for now. To be honest with you, I think that aspect of it should be relatively smooth sailing.
Hey, Jake, let me ask you a question. A nice part of your compensation is hitting some revenue numbers. I mean, 16.5 million is already a fantastic number. I can't tell you how many times I'm going to take my hat off to you. But you've got escalators in there. You've got escalators in there for 30 and 40 million. And, being a former attorney, I know that people don't just put terms like that into an agreement unless they think there's a possibility to get there. So how do you feel about your prospects of getting to one or both of those milestones in the next couple of years?
Right. So it's actually a huge part of what I was telling you earlier, though, about the expansion. I mean, the Arizona market is such a huge market. I don't think people give credit to the Arizona market when they think of medical marijuana or recreational marijuana. I mean, especially right now, during the virus outbreak, you're really starting to see all the patients come out, and it's mind blowing. You go to any store in the state and there's 300 people outside waiting to get in. I mean, Arizona is such a huge state.
Wow.
And as far as what we're capable of doing right now, I mean, a few equipment upgrades, we're 20% growing each month. There's just so many more customers we can reach. There's so many more businesses we can develop relationships with for biomass to process, to sell them biomass. There's still so much room for improvement, even doing that number. I mean, this year, and I don't know if we're going into this or not, but I mean, this year we're on pace to smash that number. And each month we continue to grow, we develop new relationships, and we get bigger and bigger. And, like I said, you give us a few more pieces of equipment, which we work and we get set up, and we're able to produce more. I mean, you'd be surprised, even increasing from 40,000 grams a week to 45,000 grams a week, and then a month later you're at 55,000, and then 2 months later you're at 70. I mean, that's kind of how this business was built, just slow progression, and there's still so much room to improve out here.
Yeah, I really call that slow progression, because companies would die for that kind of growth, let alone call it slow progression. Carl,
well, I'm not to cut you off there.
Go ahead.
And Carl knows this. When Carl was out here, Carl watched the operation, watched everything go by, and I kind of ignored Carl, and I felt bad. I said, Carl, I got a record week here. I said, I got to hit this record week here. And, I kind of, Carl was watching everything and learning the process. But in the meantime, we were trying to set a record week. It's important to us, not just me, but the entire staff. I mean, the entire staff has been in it since the beginning. You'd be surprised. Our turnover rate, I think we've lost 2 employees in the 3 years that we've been out here.
Well,
So,
look, guys, I'll say this, if you don't mind me chiming in. I'll say this, that
absolutely,
you guys, your industry, and especially what you guys have done, this is akin to technology companies 25, 30 years ago coming out of Silicon Valley, where a couple of smart guys got together, a couple more smart guys got together, and they just, they have these tight groups, no turnover, like Jake, you're talking about. And next thing you know, 5 years later, people are saying, wow, I could have been a shareholder of Hollister 5 years ago when it was just coming off the ground. So, hey, Carl, let me ask you, the stuff that Jake was talking about there, growth with just a couple of machines and being a part of Hollister now, are you able to really help and make those things happen because you're kind of giving Jake that extra team and extra resource necessary to hit those numbers?
Yeah, totally. That's the plan, is to be able to really just act as support resources to help that division grow. And then as we bring in our products, we'll actually add more SOPs, larger team, get everybody cohesive together. So that's the plan, and super excited about that.
And last question, guys, because there's a lot we could be talking about. And by the way, I'm happy to keep talking about more stuff, but this is so big. I just want to, get up the big stuff first and then drill down more and more interviews going forward, because this is a fantastic acquisition. But what's Alex, maybe to you or Carl, but you guys decide, what's the outlook for the rest of 2020 look like? Do you focus on expanding Hollister's dispensary distribution plus, expanding Jake's business, or is there more on the table for you guys to go after?
Yeah, so I think right now, especially with where the market's at, this whole virus thing, we've got 3 states: Nevada, Arizona, California. We're gonna hyper focus on those 3 states and crush it. Once we do that, then I think it makes sense to look out and then go into other states, unless there's some other really amazing opportunity that presents itself to us. But where I'm at and my focus, I really want to integrate Venom into Hollister into Venom, and grow both sides and Nevada before we really start going crazy. Because I think if you look, if we have 2020 vision and the past of what some of the other larger public companies have done, is why they're in the situation that they're in now.
Yeah.
So
good observation, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and go. You can, or Alex, you can finish that point that they grew too fast, took on too much, tried to take on the whole world, and fell flat on their face because they didn't focus in on some core strengths. Alex, is that how you see it too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to be good stewards of capital, and we want to make sure we scale our existing businesses before we, go after any kind of aggressive expansion plans. But, I also wanted to say, given the market environment, these are trying times, but I think they also present a lot of opportunity. This is a big shakeout in the cannabis space. Mm-hmm. And I think for the proven operators, there's a big opportunity here to manage through these trying times and also be able to capture some additional market share.
Yeah, because I'm assuming people are going to be a little flexible to become part of the Hollister network, either by supply or companies or whatever the case may be, than they were just 6 to 9 months ago. And you guys are in a position to really take advantage of that. Guys, I really want to thank you for being on. This is amazing. Jake, hats off to you again. You're the VIP. You're kind of the superstar in this one, and congratulations to you, and your team. And if you want, maybe give you a moment here to say something about your team and what because they've been in it with you from the beginning, and I'm sure they'd love to hear it on video.
And I wouldn't be here without them. I promise you. I mean, I wish I could have every single one of them on here with you, telling you their struggles too, and like you said, George, you've been here, you know what it takes, and it's not easy. It's not it's not a fairy tale that everyone makes out to be. Oh, I'm quitting my job and starting my own business. And, you know, like I told you, no one's sitting in their underwear watching TV. We're all here 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, this is a big moment for all of us, and we're all super thrilled about it.
Well, that's great, and congratulations to you. And Carl, Alex, you know, it's just one thing after another with you guys. Just, you know, great news comes out, great things are happening, and so congratulations, because this is no easy feat. As a shareholder myself, I'm ecstatic about what you guys have done, and forget about the rest of 2020. I can't wait to see what the three of you guys can be able to accomplish in the next 2-3 years.
Thanks very much, George. Appreciate being on.
Thanks, George. We really
Thanks, George.
appreciate you, buddy.
Hey,
Absolute honor, buddy.
thanks for being on here. And look, one of these days when things get back to normal, I promise you, I'll either be in California or in Arizona, and we'll do one of these, you know, right from one of the stores, from the facilities, whatever the case may be, to give everyone a real good, you know, a real good feel of what you guys are doing out there.
Would
That
love
was
it.
great.
Absolutely love it.
Stay safe. And to everyone at home, look, the guys have all joined us by Zoom because that's the environment and what's happening right now. So for everyone at home, you know, stay safe as well, and do your due diligence. You got a lot of time on your hands now. So Hollister should be the beginning of your due diligence. Get to Agoracom, get to Hollister's profile, take a look at all the information. We've already got a couple of interviews done. You got to watch those. And then if you've got questions, ask them, because that's the company itself. That's Alex and the gang themselves that are answering the questions. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic day. See you next time.